If our friends across the aisle decide to block this legislation, which clearly reflects the will of the American people, I am prepared to force this issue by debating this bill long into the night. If they're unwilling to join us in our mission to shine a light on secret money in elections, we'll keep the lights on here. I urge my colleagues to support the DISCLOSE Act of 2012.
We are now in the midst of a Republican filibuster on the DISCLOSE Act, another Republican filibuster. Not one single Republican senator would join us in this effort to bring this bill to the floor for a debate, amendment, and a vote. We've seen so many Republican filibusters, now we see this one. The reason that this is more important than most is it really gets to the heart of our political process.
What is so wrong, Mr. President, with voters having information about who is trying to influence their vote? Why is this basic information so important to hide from the American people? Public disclosure of campaign contributions and spending should be expedited, should be swift, should be available, so voters can judge for themselves what is appropriate.
I've got with me today here on the Senate floor $213,000 Americans, 213,000 citizen co-sponsors of this DISCLOSE Act, which were collected by Credo Action. Unlike the corporations and the billionaires who are spending hundreds of millions of dollars to buy our elections and who insist on doing it in secret, these regular people are unashamed to stand up for what they believe in.
By increasing the transparency of campaign spending by these groups, the DISCLOSE Act seeks to prevent unregulated and unchecked power over our elections by a handful of wealthy corporations and individuals. Right now, the voices of ordinary Americans, of ordinary North Carolinians, are being drowned out by secret money. North Carolina deserves better. Our country deserves better. That is why I am co-sponsoring the DISCLOSE Act.
And I hope that people can listen to this debate and not say, well, there they go again, but really understand the consequences of this kind of secret money in the system. It is corrupting, and it's not right.
I hope we vote on the DISCLOSE Act again, and as soon as tomorrow. And I hope my colleagues from the other side come back to this forum. Maybe they will have something to say. I don't know. It's been a long night. They haven't heard a word from them. But it'd be nice to have a debate on this. But also, let's do what I know Alaskans are asking me every day. Clean up the system. The best way you can do that, just tell people where the money, show me the money, follow the money. And when you follow the money, as in 1972 they did, you know exactly who's trying to buy the government. And in this case, we just want to know.
Disclosing contributions is only fair and only right and only American and only in keeping with our democracy and our Constitution. In the long run, I would argue it's bad for the Republican Party to shy away from not only debating this issue but supporting this bill, because the issue of disclosure is so simple and so easy and so right.
I urge my colleagues to reconsider and join me in supporting this important piece of legislation and join those of us who are here tonight. And if it is allowed to come up for an up or down vote, I'm confident this body would pass it, and that would be cheered by the American public. The public doesn't know when they watch political ads whether they are true or deceptive. And that is a problem because there is no question that advertising works. You know the show Mad Men? It's popular, it's about advertising. In the early 60s, about how advertising works. They discovered this all a long time ago, and it's true, it works. Advertising helps influences what we buy, what we eat, what we drink, where we shop, and yes, which politician we will support when we go to the polls.
Super PACs have poured millions of dollars into negative and misleading campaign ads, and they often do so under the cover of darkness. Quiet, stealthy, without disclosing the true source of the donations. It's ironic. They make all this sound and fury on the airways, but they are silent on who is paying for it. Why?
In just the first 4 months of this year, 90% of all outside money being spent on this coming November presidential election was secret. 90% of what was spent in just the first 4 months of this year, 90% was secret. This is about openness. This is about transparency. This is about whether or not everyone in our country is going to have the opportunity to have information to make their own judgments. We need to be allowed to pass this bill.
I will be the last speaker tonight. Let me close with a number of thank yous. It should be interesting to hear how the Republican senators justify this monumental concealment of campaign cash.